Okay, here's the deal. We're going to be going live, and I'm going to be for 30 minutes total answering questions about Social Security disability benefits, including supplemental security income. Now, with that said, there are some basic rules to the game. The phone number you're going to be using is 407-279-1754. I'm putting it in there right now. The other thing is that you have to have your legal question ready. No story mode. If you're going into a story, you're breaking the rules. Legal question ready. You get 5 to 7 minutes. If you need more than 5 to 7 minutes, then there's a little contract below where you can hire me for a full hour to figure out whatever is going on in your life. Okay. So bottom line is we're going to get started. Again, quick summary as to what the rules are. Use a fake name when you call in. 5 to 7 minutes per question, per caller. No story mode. Have your legal question ready. And then also remember, when I'm on the phone, don't keep calling over and over and over and over again, because there's only one me. So I can't, you know what I mean? If you just keep calling the phone, I can't, I'd have to keep clicking the button to say, no, 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 no. All right. We're now opening it up. 407-279-1754. Let's go ahead and begin. Also, if you have questions in the chat section, I'll try to get to some of those as well. Walter, if I can and request you sleep for 5 minutes on my answer, will that work? Yes, I am super tired and I have to wake up super early tomorrow. I will not be answering phone calls tomorrow at the office, just as a heads up. So, why do I have paper in my pocket? What is that? Oh, it's my receipt from Walmart. So, with that said, tomorrow, if you call the firm, you're not going to get me. You're going to get other people at the firm. I'm going to be working on an AC brief and a few other details. And actually, after we do this video, I have to go to the post office to mail off some stuff. So, with that said, yes, please go and remember to like and subscribe this video, and also go to Disability Resolution on Google, Disability Resolution Law Firm, Disability Resolution Florida, and go ahead and throw some stars up there. Now, when people don't call in right away, I know it's because they're joining, but it also gives me a shit. Damn it. There's the first one. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. You are the first caller. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process, and we will go ahead and begin. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
I have gotten back my reconsideration, and I have an ALJ meeting scheduled next month.
Okay.
What I'm curious is I'm going through the exhibits, and what I'm seeing is they say I have severe impairment in multiple sclerosis, depression, anxiety, and autism support level 3, but they did not have enough specificity to award me disability for those impairments.
Yep.
What does the specificity mean?
Oh, they're looking for details as to actual severity that proves severity. So, like, for example, they're looking for things that show, why you meet, equal, or exceed either, basically a listing level, or should be given a vocational allowance or a grid out approval due to severity of your impairments or severity of your limitations that limit your ability to work.
Okay. And I have 7 doctors that filled out questionnaires for me that included information like severity, as well as personally written comments about why I would have trouble with maintaining work, such as they noted I needed to see a lot of specialists. And I also have a lot of sleep problems that make it dangerous for me to be in work environments or to travel to work, or would make me miss work because I'm asleep. I'd need something like more than 4 days a month I would be out sick, and most corporations in America fire somebody for excessive absenteeism at that rate. Point being, my exhibits, not a single one is listed as medical evidence or non-medical evidence excluded. I didn't see that anywhere. I didn't see any annotations anywhere saying a partial acceptance or a rejection of any of the things that my doctors or therapists have written. So is it safe to assume they didn't actually reject any documentation, or they did and they just didn't properly annotate it like they're supposed to?
No, they go through it. It's in the DDE. The DDE is in the A folder. So now that you're at the hearing level, you got to access the A folder. Inside the A folder is the most recent DDE, display determination explanation, and that gives you a walkthrough as to what weight they gave to the doctors. It's not super detailed, but it gives you a walkthrough on it.
I do not actually think they included that in what they gave me. They more or less just gave me master list of exhibits and then all the scanned documents themselves.
Yeah, it's in the A folder and it should be in the A exhibits. I mean, here's the thing. You have a hearing in a month, you said?
Yes, July, early July.
If you had, what was it, 7 RFC documents, like 7 questionnaires completed about your impairments, is that correct?
Yes, I've had extensive memory and cognition testing. My therapist did one. My primary care did one. My multiple sclerosis doctor did one. And I also had clinical psychologists review my mental conditions and put me through testing for that, and come back and said that I'm marked and I'm severe.
So then there's something wrong in this claim. Like that's the, I would honestly, do you have an attorney already or no?
I do have an attorney, and he has only been submitting documents, and he hasn't really done anything like come up with a walkthrough as to how this all comes together as a timeline. He's just been submitting documents and doing the clerical work, that, as far as I can see.
So just to clear, I mean, did you call him and ask him what in the medical record, what in the record in general, in the A, B, D, E, and F folders doesn't look right? Like what the problem is?
No, and when I expressed dissatisfaction in the past, he basically gave me a soft, you can walk kind of expression in response to my concerns. Basically, I don't want you to continue with me unless you're fully comfortable. And of course, no mention of dropping, his claim on the fee for helping me, which would make it hard for me to pick up a second attorney.
So I take it you didn't take the cuddle roll off and you still have him. Shit, man, that's
the what roll?
The cuddle roll off. The hey, you can either love me or not love me, and then but you know what I mean. Hey, one of those kind of gigs. Look, here's the thing. You're in a situation where you have the hearing coming up. You've waited a really long time, and to not know the likelihood of what the problem is, that's a problem going into the hearing. Have you run hearing questions with the attorney at this point, or not really?
That was supposed to be, I don't want to say the specific dates in case someone for him, I don't want to make problems for myself, but let's say within the next 3 days, I'm supposed to have that meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And initially we were supposed to have it person to person and face to face. And then I get a call like with less than 7 days notice where something came up and you're going to have to do it over the phone, is what I was told.
Okay. I mean, that's not the end of the world.
I feel it just feels weird all the way around, because the way the evidence file looks, I don't see anywhere except where he just filled out forms and submitted documents. No attempt to construct any drawing the lines of things together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. I mean, So just to be clear, I am curious from a study of a person where it's not going right. What is your plan to make it right?
Well, when I speak to him, I'm going to ask him about several clerical notes I noticed in the file. Like, for example, there was a part where it asked me if I'd worked after my alleged onset date. And I did make an attempt to work after my alleged onset date. It was unsuccessful. And it was under the SGA amount. And he wrote that, no, I had not worked after the alleged onset date. And then where it said, was there an unsuccessful work attempt, he also answered no to that, when I feel it should be yes.
How much did you earn at this job?
I worked there 3 months, and I made less than $2,000 total for all 3 months together. Each month was about $650.
I mean, that's a UWA for sure. Was it in a particular industry that's linear with the industry you were in prior to having the impairment issues become severe?
It was retail. I worked as a holiday exhibitor with a promise to onboard if we did well, and they did onboard several members of the team. I was not extended an offer because of my excessive absences.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, all right, so there's some mistakes. Get it fixed or get a new attorney and do it fast, because the other attorney, I mean, at least make sure all your medical records are in and then get it rolling. If you don't get it rolling fast, buddy, and they don't withdraw the fees, you're not going to be able to get another attorney on board to make it work. So you got a little bit of chop in front of you, you know?
So what would be the best, because of the incongruencies, and also there's something I can't mention that was done, but I did not allow it to happen, but I consider it in violation of the SSA's attorney's guidelines for conducts and behavior.
Sure, yeah.
Should I tell him, look, you're violating all these conducts. I don't think you've been a good representation for me. I'd like you to release the fees, or I'll have to explore other options. Do you think he'd get the point that I'm considering a complaint to the SSA about his conduct?
Yeah, I mean, if you add OIG to that statement, he'll get the point.
Office of Inspector General?
Yeah, and I mean, spell it out. You know, you can play the game of hide the ball in the sentence, but, you know, spell it out a little bit for him.
Okay, so I should not be afraid to let him know that I'm looking to take action that could hurt him because he's not doing his job. I should be blunt about it.
I wouldn't be blunt. I would be direct. Blunt has a sassiness to it as to, like, you know, the nature by which your delivery is given a thump. I would just be direct.
Okay, and finally, well, two finallys, but I'll make them quick because I know there are other people probably calling. My next appeal level would be the appeals council.
Mm-hmm.
Would that generally be a good, if I did it right away, would that be a good time to change lawyers for improved chances?
No, you want to do it before the hearing. Once you go to the hearing, that's your hearing. Everything after that point isn't about whether or not you're disabled. It's about whether or not the judge made a mistake. You want to fix this before the hearing.
Okay, and should he be, am I wrong in assuming that he should have made a document that walks the judge through the medical work I've had, and the absence of that is a problem, or do Social Security disability representatives not actually usually do that?
We don't always do that unless we see a problem in the DDE as to their analysis of the claim. What we usually do is an opening statement, like a mini brief, because we just don't make enough to do full briefs anymore for these claims. So kind of the bottom line is, you know, we do kind of like an intro statement and mini brief, which is, you know, about, like, you know, why this claim should go through. And whether there's a DOT analysis in it. I usually have one because, you know, most of the claimants were shooting for a vocational allowance, but or a grid out, not a listing level. You know, most of these claims aren't listing level approvals. But yeah, basically, you know, if it's warranted, you know, I don't have your claim in front of me, so I'd have to kind of look through the DDE and see what they were saying.
Okay, and then lastly, my judge, I know his name,
Mm-hmm.
and I looked up his approval partial and full.
Sure, yeah.
For partial and full together, he's only got an 8% approval rating.
Okay.
How alarming is that?
I mean, how many cases was that compared against for the year?
He's done about 190 cases this year, and 8% were favorable or fully favorable.
So that means you might actually have, to be fair, one of the great, you know, dragons of disability judges that just massively denies claims. In which case, it's really not going to matter whether you have that attorney or a different attorney. It's highly likely it'll just be denied.
All right. Good to know that. Hopefully the appeals council will be more merciful than this gentleman.
Well, remember, they'll probably just remand you back to that judge if that judge made a mistake.
Oh no. At that point, what would be my best option? File over from scratch?
Well, you want to get you want to get a remand that has some constitutional gravity to it to seek a new adjudicator. Otherwise, you're just stuck with the same judge.
Okay. So, gosh, I have a lot to think about. I'll be more on the nose. I would have less than 20 days to find new representation.
it's pushing it. I mean, you're up against, it's not you kind of squeaked into a corner with this,
Yeah, unfortunately. So I should just put more pressure on him to do more work, and if he doesn't, tell him I'm going to go with the Office of the Inspector General to make a complaint about it if he won't release me from my fee, and then try to find another lawyer quickly.
If you can. Remember, here's the problem. You're going to push him. He'll probably withdraw for rep and fee just to get away from the problem if he really did make mistakes. Then at that point, you're stuck in a situation where you got to find a new representative with that judge that you know. And the attorneys are going to ask you, hey, which judge do you have? And if you got an 8% pass rate judge, the attorneys aren't going to want to take it.
All right. Sounds like I should grin and bear it.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. You know what I mean? I don't want to give you a this way or that way kind of gig, but, at the end of the day, it is up to you. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, and I'll be watching the rest of the show.
Thank you, good sir. Have a wonderful, wonderful night, okay?
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, good. So actually, right before that call, I didn't get my chance to do my little, countdown to, end the video early, because if nobody calls in, then yada, yada. All right, so we're going to do a new countdown. We got to get somebody to call in within the next 10. Damn it. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to mute the computer or phone on your end. What is your legal question? And remember to use a fake name. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Hey, Attorney Walter.
Howdy, good sir.
Well, I went through a very long CDR, and they did use DOJ and like I guess every investigator that they would have. Didn't go out much, didn't hardly leave my home, but the times that I did, they were there, and I would think that there's probably a tracking device on my car, more than likely. But my question is, I did file a Freedom of Information Act to online to find out if they obtained a warrant through a judge.
Okay.
And Baltimore got it, and then took them about 4 months to call me back, and then they had told me that I should take that and forward it to the local field office here. Mm-hmm. So I did exactly that and listed the email response from them in Baltimore. But locally, they're just, I've called to check on it. They said that there's nothing scanned into my record. Like same when I turned in my records for the CDR review, they never scanned anything in.
Okay.
And they did not give me credit for some of the really strong neurology records that I had that linked to my, also go hand in hand with my own ongoing disability. But how, is there a way I can try to find a way to see if I can get them to honor the Freedom of Information Act, to see if they were able to obtain a warrant, because they're just not complying with anything.
Well, I mean, OIG would be the one who'd be seeking a warrant. So did you reach out to OIG?
I called the local field office, and they only gave me a number to Nashville to report somebody. But they didn't give me the number to, I guess, the local OIG here, which I'm not sure if they're in North Georgia, somewhere in the North Georgia area, or if they're in Tennessee. So I don't know what else to do. And I don't know if they got a real district attorney judge to sign off on something like that, or if it's somebody that's 2 or 3 levels below him that just signs off on anything for Social Security. If somebody's weaponizing the Social Security.
So
and
real
abusing
quick,
their power.
so I would, if you Google, it'll pop up the address form, 6401 Security Boulevard, Baltimore, Maryland, 21235. And then at the top of it, you put Office of Inspector General. I would send that to them because they're the ones who are going to reach out to go get basically a warrant.
Okay. So it would be Baltimore that would send a warrant for an investigation on me in
Request a
in
warrant,
Tennessee.
not send the warrant, but request a warrant. They would request a warrant from a judge.
Wow. So it'd be Baltimore. Okay. I thought it would be locally. Is there a local OIG that would request that?
Possibly, but they'd have to send it down the chain to the CDI unit that would be doing the investigation. But you want to find out what was filed if there was a warrant, right? I mean, that's what the question is. Yeah. So.
Okay. You wouldn't know that number by chance, would you?
The phone number? They don't. Even the phone number. So here's the thing: write to them, because remember, some contact stuff, I'm not supposed to hand out.
Okay. And where do I Google? It's a Baltimore OIG.
Yeah. So you're going to Google. So it's 6401 Security Boulevard, Baltimore, Maryland, 21235.
21235. Okay. Security Boulevard. Okay. I've got that. I will type up a letter and get it sent to them, and I'll include what I sent to the local field office. I did get one call back from somebody from Baltimore, and then she just said, I'm not able to tell you anything, and that you'll be getting a letter in the mail. And I said, well, I just went through.
And you never got one, right? Yeah.
Right.
I've heard that a couple of times. Yeah. I think that's kind of the game that they're playing. But here's the thing. Let me go and pop to the next caller. I will catch you a little bit later, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Walter.
Absolutely, good sir. You have a wonderful, wonderful day.
You too.
Thank you, good sir. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.
Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a what happened? Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. You get about 5 to 7 minutes. And what is your legal question? Go ahead.
This is the Wrecking Ball from the Miley Cyrus crew.
Good.
I had just some questions. I kind of put it in chat, but I'm hazy. Something didn't make sense. The recon level at a CDR level, I don't know if you're supposed to get those.
Recon
like
CDR. Yeah. You go to a recon CDR after initial filing. Once not initial, after the initial review, you appeal their decision. If they're going to do a CDR, you could take it up to recon. Then you go to ALJ. Then you go to appeals council. Then you go to district. Then circuit. Then Supreme Court of the United States. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm actually at the appeals, but I was trying to see where they went wrong, so I'm going backwards.
Okay.
That didn't make sense. But with the VE, if there's a conflict, aren't they the ALJ supposed to handle that conflict at the time of the hearing?
If there's a conflict, aren't supposed. What was the conflict though?
Well, I got them to say 0 jobs based off of my medicine side effects and having a walker and bipedal edema, and the ALJ put me on light duty, so I couldn't do what she said. So it went to a different thing, and she just ended the hearing.
How many hypothetical questions were given during the hearing?
She gave 2. I gave 1.
Okay. And during any of the 3, did the vocational expert give potential jobs to be used in the national economy?
Yes, a pencil bander, housekeeper, and small parts assembler.
Yeah, well, then the judge can choose to go ahead and choose any one of those vocations as an option that would find you not disabled for the the RTSW, for element 5 of the 5-step.
Okay, and the last question, does she have to use a current RFC, or can she go by the CPD RFC?
I mean, technically, they're supposed to use all of them when they review this stuff if it's available.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, because she didn't use that. She used one from like 7 years prior. So
I mean, 7 years prior is kind of old, but remember, they have to consider that if it's a CDR, which I think you said this
Right.
one's, so then they have to consider the old one as a comparison point against the new one to see if there's improvement.
Right, under the 1594F. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to find anything, because this judge is, like, notably one of the hardest ones to beat that I've seen in the case law.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just trying to see where I stood up on that.
Sure.
So they do the recon, they do they can choose which route with the VE. Oh, and interrogatory. I'm so sorry. With the ME, can they change that in the hearing, even though it was already done and sent in?
Can they change interrogatory sent to an ME post hearing?
No, the ME made one that came in to do the hearing, because I got a copy of it before the hearing.
Yeah.
And they were just changing it, the ALJ and the ME right there in the hearing.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're there to give testimony. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah, but isn't the written testimony supposed to be done before then?
It can, but it doesn't matter. They're there to give new testimony.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. I was just confused about that. I couldn't find that. I live in the Palm section right now.
Yeah.
But okay, well, I didn't want to rack your brain too much. You look so tired, dude. Get some rest, bro.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And I got to go to USPS after this too, because the person who does the mail for me is sick. Yeah. So it's just shit show. Yeah, for sure. But
dude, I've seen your stuff. You got a killer music set up, man.
Thank you. I'm really excited about it. Like, I'm really excited about the coil audio preamps.
I'm stoked for you.
Yeah. I'm super.
I'm stoked.
Yeah. But excellent, good sir. I will catch you a little bit later. You have a wonderful, wonderful night, and just catch up with me down the line, You
got it. You got it. All right. Talk to you later.
Thank you, good sir. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, this is the last call of the night, Attorney Walter Hnot. Remember to mute the computer on your end. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal name? Go ahead.
Glenn.
Howdy, Glenn. What's the legal question?
Oh, yeah. Hi, Walter. Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah.
I got approved. I applied for SSI. I got approved for presumptive disability as of January 1st. And my 6 months presumptive disability ended May 31st. And so the application says I'm 90%. It's gone through, but they still haven't made a decision yet. So I got the reason I talked to the person handling my case. I got approved based on my cardiac conditions. I have like VTEC, heart failure, and ascending thoracic dilation, and aneurysm, my heart, and my aorta. So I was just wondering what you thought. And I'm 54 when I applied, so I was just wondering what your opinion was of my chances of getting approved.
I mean, it's super high because you're presumptive. Are you just upset or not upset? Are you just looking for an answer as to why they're taking so long, or what's the deal?
I was. It's been. I applied June 26th of last year.
Okay.
So, and on the website they said it's supposed to take 9 months, and meanwhile it's taking the 26th of the year. So, I'm just extremely frustrated at what's going on with it. Like I could go back and apply for state disability, which is called EDOC in Massachusetts. But, I don't know if I should do that if they're going to just approve me like in a week, or whatever. So
wait, you're getting a check every month, right?
Not anymore. May 31st was my last check. It's 6 months.
So
6 months I'm presumptive.
No, I got that. And wait a minute. So they're required to make a decision during that point for continuation. So I mean, where is this thing at?
It's nowhere. I talked to the case man. They said that DBS has it. They haven't made a decision yet. When I said, when are they going to make a decision? They said, they're swamped. We don't know.
All right. For these, what I would do is ask to speak with a manager at DDS. Keep calling the operator until you get one. Get the extension for a manager. Call her and say, hey, look, potential of going homeless here, lack of funds, rent is due. I'm marked as presumptive. Should be an easy push through. Can you get this assigned to somebody to go ahead and finish it up? That's what I would do in your situation.
Okay, I appreciate you understand why I'm just extremely frustrated at the whole situation, because I'm not getting paid, and I should be approved, and I can't believe it. It's been a year and it's just sitting there. Yeah, like I can't even appeal a rejection. I didn't get rejected.
I mean, I'm not surprised because they're so backed up. The other side of the coin is like, I get why you're pissed, but then, I come from the other side where I see people who get nothing. There's no presumptive at all. You know what I mean? So you at least got 6 months while waiting, but I guess what I would say is this, your main goal at this point is to just get somebody assigned, because it sounds like nobody's assigned. So since you're
I actually there is somebody assigned, because when I talked to the person, they said it's definitely assigned, and they actually called me to go over. They called me last week to go over like earnings. And
okay.
I didn't work since like August of 2020. I'm sorry, August of 2022. So I hadn't worked a year before I even filed, so that shouldn't be a problem. So they called and asked me about that. So I said, that's fine. And so there's definitely somebody looking at my case. There's somebody assigned. They just haven't made a decision. When I talked to the local agency handling it in Hyannis, what they said was, DDS has not made a decision yet. When they make a decision, they'll send it over to us, and then they'll call me if it's an approval to do the financial thing, the same financial thing I had to do when I got presumptive.
Well, the local field office doesn't have any control over this, so stop calling them. It's all at DDS. You got to get DDS to submit a approval up to quality control for a review and approval.
It's at quality control. That's where it is.
It's at quality control right now? Why are you whining?
Yeah.
Well, you got weeks. If it's at quality control, you got weeks, man. Stop whining. In weeks, you're going to get a decision.
All right, Walter. I appreciate the feedback. I hope you're right. It's just I have bills to pay and I'm not paying them, so it's just frustrating.
When did it go to quality control?
I didn't get a date on quality control. They didn't tell me that.
Yeah, they don't tell the claimants that usually.
They didn't tell me when it went to quality control, but when I talked to and actually the person that I talked to at DDS, she's the one that presumptively approved me, because I asked her that.
When did she tell you it went to QC? How long ago?
She didn't give me a date.
No, but when did you call her?
Like 3 days ago.
Man, you got weeks. You got weeks, and then, you got weeks.
All right, Walter, I appreciate you taking my phone call. Thank you very much, and you help out a lot of people. I watch all your videos. 3 to 4
weeks. Remember, you get a decision from the local FO. They give you a call about a week to 2 weeks after that. You get your back pay. A week after that, you get your forward pay. About a week and a half after that. So remember, if you're not paying bills or doing stuff, you still got a month before month and a half until you get the funds, but you get a decision before that.
Yeah. Just last question. How common is presumptive disability?
Well, they have an algorithm program that reviews claims to see medical evidence, whether or not you are very likely to fit the statutory requirements for an approval. You were chosen. So as a result of that, bottom line is you were PD'd. So, they say, okay, cool. We're going to give you 6 months of benefit while we figure out the details of this thing and then go from there. Normally they get you figured out within a month to two, but they're super low on employees. DDS, of course, is the most hurt in that scenario. So bottom line is, your probability is extremely high. You are in quality control, which means they sent it from DDS at state level to feds for decision approval, and then it goes back to local FO. Local FO gives you a call for a pre-effectuation interview, and then at that point, 2 weeks later, you get your check.
Yeah, so what is quality control exactly?
Quality control is the federal group that works for the SSA that oversees the approvals of DDS, which is a state-based group that is paid to do the initial 2 adjudication levels instead of having to put the ALJ up front.
All right, Walter, I appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. So that was the last phone call. I am super tired. Obviously, I'm falling asleep right now. I'm going to go to the post office and get that stuff done. I do see that there were around I don't even know. I'm not going to count it. But the point is, so when you get to quality control, you're like 3-4 weeks away from getting a decision. Bottom line is, if he's a PD, very high likelihood of approval. Things are going to be good for him. Very good for him. He's just got to wait until they basically go through the process, do the approval, and make sure it's good to go. I will catch you guys a little bit later. My apologies, I'm falling asleep. Please remember to like. Please remember to subscribe. Keep praying that they can fix this SSA system, because, God, they are low on employees. Commissioner Martin O'Malley is doing a great job. And I know why. It's because attached to this thing is his, and that's final thought. Then I got to pop off, go to USPS. It is weird that a man who thinks he could become president, and actually might, thinks that his path to the presidency of the United States of America is through the SSA. I don't think that's ever happened, ever in the history of America. That's why he's working his butt off, trying to do as much as he can to improve this thing. We're lucky right now that somebody cares that much. We're lucky right now that the leverage is in our favor, because he wants people to be happy to vote for him to be president. So we're in a good spot right now. Anyways, I will catch you guys a little bit later. You have a wonderful night. Everything is good. Please remember to like. Please remember to subscribe. And I'm going to go to sleep after I go to USPS. I'll catch you later. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.